Life Million Years Ago, Part 2. It's time to go back to the past once again. This time, 1 million years ago. And of course, that was a time when the world looked completely different. There were no skyscrapers or cars, only dense forests and vast open plains. But perhaps even more surprising is that life 1 million years ago was not what we are used to seeing today either. In fact, there was another type of human around at the time, but they were much less evolved than us. So what was life like for our early ancestors? What kind of world did they live in? And how did it compare to the rest of the animals around them? Stick around until the end of this video to find out. 70 scenes. A long time ago, in the era known as the Pleistocene epoch, which lasted from 2.6 million to 11,700 years ago, Earth was home to a wide variety of extinct and prehistoric creatures. The world was still recovering from the effects of the Ice Age, which had ended around 11,500 years ago, leaving behind a landscape that was vastly different from what we know today. During this time, the average global temperature was about 4 degrees Celsius higher than it is now, leading to warmer summers and winters that were milder than today. However, there was still a significant amount of ice in the Arctic and at the highest elevations, which may have caused some problems for the humans living at the time. They would have had to deal with harsher weather conditions, especially during the winter months. If you want to learn more about how the climate change affected life, make sure to watch our video about what the Earth will be like in 100,000 years. Despite these challenges, the world 1 million years ago was still full of wonders. Forests were denser and more extensive than today, covering vast areas of the globe and providing habitats for countless species of animals. Additionally, there were large open grasslands and an abundance of freshwater sources such as lakes and rivers, making it a truly diverse and thriving ecosystem. But let's get back to the star of the show, the Homo habilis, also known as the handyman. These early humans lived in Africa during the early Pleistocene epoch, around 2.4 to 1.6 million years ago. They were the first members of the genus Homo, and are considered to be the direct ancestors of modern humans. Compared to the modern humans who came after them, the Homo habilis were relatively small in size. They stood between 1.4 and 1.8 meters tall, and weighed between 40 and 50 kilograms. Despite their petite stature, the Homo habilis were incredibly strong and muscular, with a powerful build that allowed them to move through their environment with ease. Their skulls were also quite robust, with a pronounced brow ridge and a receding forehead. Their teeth were adapted for both plant and meat consumption, indicating their omnivorous diet. Overall, the Homo habilis were truly remarkable creatures who paved the way for the evolution of modern humans. Now, let's talk about the world they inhabited. The savannas of eastern and southern Africa were the stomping grounds of some pretty formidable creatures. Imagine walking through the tall grasses and suddenly coming face to face with a saber-toothed cat. These fearsome predators had massive canines that could grow up to 30 centimeters long, which they used to deliver fatal blows to their prey. Luckily, the Homo habilis were generally active during the day, which helped them avoid becoming prey themselves. But that wasn't the only danger lurking in the grasslands. There were also packs of wild dogs that hunted in groups. These highly efficient predators were perfectly adapted for chasing down prey over long distances, thanks to their lean, muscular bodies and sharp, pointed ears. And let's not forget about the hyenas, scavengers that were just as happy tearing into a dead animal as they were catching one alive. These ruthless hunters were known for their strength and tenacity, and they weren't afraid to take on prey much larger than themselves. The savannas were also home to some truly massive herbivores. The African elephant was a true giant, standing up to 3 meters tall and weighing several tons. These gentle giants roamed the grasslands in herds, using their tusks and large ears to defend themselves against predators. Another iconic African mammal that roamed the savannas was the giraffe. These towering creatures could reach up to 6 meters in height and had long, slender legs that allowed them to run swiftly and gracefully. Their distinctive patterns of brown patches separated by white lines served as camouflage against the dappled light of the forest. In addition to these large mammals, the savannas were also home to a wide variety of other animals, including zebras, antelopes, rhinos, and crocodiles. The abundance of food and water in the savannas made it an ideal habitat for these animals, and they thrived in their natural environment. Despite the dangers posed by predators, the savannas were a place of great beauty and wonder, and those who explored its vast open spaces were truly fortunate to witness its magnificence. When the Homo habilis ventured out into the savannas, they were often accompanied by a small group of companions. Living in groups provided safety in numbers, making it easier to defend against predators and find food. The bonds between group members were likely strong, with cooperation and communication being essential for survival. The Homo habilis would have used a combination of gestures, sounds, and facial expressions to communicate with each other, although there is evidence that they may have also developed some basic language abilities. They were skilled tool makers, crafting simple stone tools that allowed them to cut, hack, and pound objects. This innovation enabled them to process food more efficiently, creating new foods and preparing meals that were more nutritious. The ability to use tools also helped them defend themselves against predators, giving them an edge in the struggle for survival. The Homo habilis were also highly adaptable creatures, capable of thriving in a variety of environments. While they are primarily associated with the savannas of Africa, they were also found in woodlands and even mountainous regions. This adaptability allowed them to exploit a wide range of food sources, including plants, roots, fruits, nuts, insects, and small animals. Their success as hunters and gatherers contributed to their dominance in the ecosystem and ultimately led to their status as the top predator in the food chain. However, their reign at the top of the food chain didn't last forever. As the climate continued to change and new species emerged, the Homo habilis would eventually give way to more advanced forms of life. But their legacy lived on in the form of the Homo erectus, who would inherit the earth and carry on the torch of human evolution. So there you have it, a glimpse into the world 1 million years ago. A world where humans and dinosaurs roamed freely, and where the boundaries of the food chain were constantly shifting. While these early humans may seem primitive by today's standards, they were truly remarkable creatures who possessed the curiosity, intelligence, and adaptability that would eventually lead to the rise of modern civilization. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any of our future videos. We've got plenty more fascinating topics to cover, including ancient Rome vs. modern New York, real vs. fake, and the most dangerous places in the world. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Let's take a moment to look at some of the viewers who have been commenting on our videos and give them a little love. Love, comment, like. It's easy to do. Take a look at this comment here. Wow. Just wow. Thank you so much for your support. Your comments really mean a lot to us. If you're watching this, please drop a comment below and say hi. We love reading your comments and responding to them whenever we can. We appreciate all the love and support you guys have shown us. So thank you again, and keep the comments coming. We can't wait to see what you have to say.